Okay, so that's it. That's the normalizing of the upper torso dimension nodes. It was a lot more. That's why I wanted to speed through this because it was too much. So same thing. X parameter goes into output 2. All these are set to divide. Dimension goes into parameter 1. You perform the operation, and then you funnel the new output to the set-driven key. And all of these should be working properly now. Unfortunately, I don't know why in my head I thought I'd be seeing feedback in the viewport. We are not changing these dimensions. So I'm going to go back and hide all these. I don't even know why I showed them in the first place. They don't need to be on, or these dimensions either. Right, so if I scale up, make sure I have the same behavior I had when I created these. Yeah, they're centering correctly. The breast tissue lets me know it's working. And also up there, it is doing the right thing. When scaled up, protraction. Yeah, that seems to be working too. No more of that dent, at least not aggressively. And then my retraction, yeah, triggers the folds in the back. So that's working too. And my humerus adduction, that works. And abduction, that also works. All right, so all these systems are also scalable. All right, so I can't believe I actually forgot about this, but there is one more thing that needs to be done. And I was so happy to do it, so I can't believe I forgot about it. But it's the sliding. So I said that when you rotate backward, the rib cage would slide up, and the opposite would be true for the abs. The abs would slide down, and it would give a more realistic feel to these sculpt deformers. Now, considering how the rib cage is working now with the stomach vacuum, I don't think any sliding of the rib cage mesh is going to help that much, right? Because there's a lot of work that's been done on top of the rib cage impression to sell it. And sliding it is just going to move it away from all the meticulous sculpt work that has been done on top of it. So I don't particularly care for the sliding of the rib cage. I'm satisfied with what's happening. Maybe it might be worth a try, but for now, I want to focus on the one that I'm definite that I do want to do, and that's the abdominals. They need to slide down when they're activated. So what I'm going to do is bring back my locators. Zero out my translation. And the thing that I acknowledge is that where the abs are right now, when she flexes, is good. So that should be the final stopping point. So then what that means is that what I'm actually going to do is set a key on the actual sculpt deformer at its current position, right? So if I go find it, if I go find my actual sculpt deformer, which is my abdominals right there. So at its current location, I think what I'm looking for would be, let me activate, okay. So I'd be looking for a translate Y, right? Very minimal translate Y. So I'm going to open my set driven key window. And I'm going to grab my distance dimension for the abdominals. So that would be this one right there. Grab its shape node, load it as a driver, come down to distance. And at this default value, I'm going to set a key on translate Y of my sculpt deformer. Right, so let me make sure I have my sculpt deformer selected. Okay. For the abs, not the ribs. All right, so yeah, if this doesn't work, it's an easy thing to unravel. So, and let me actually also trigger the system. So I'll come over here and trigger the system, because at this position, this is where I want it to have its default sliding. Sorry, this is where I want it to be at its default position. And the translation is going to happen when it's at home. So right now with the chest rotated for the locator to be over there and the distance node being close to 0, I'm going to take my translate Y as it is on this ab sculpt deformer. So I'm going to go key. So now I should have that on there. And then now when I zero out my chest rotation and it takes my locator back, what I want to do now is make the slight adjustment to the abdominals. Let me find a good amount of translation, and it looks like I'm going to have to do it over here. So here I'll move maybe, okay, it looks like 0.916. Let me just make it a whole number, make it 1. And that might be too much. Let me see, 8.5. I might have to play around with the actual sculpt deformer so that I prevent this penetration, but I'll come and deal with that shortly. So I'm going to come over here and let me just set a key and see what this feels like. So at the default pose, let me pin this so I can see, let me pin my ab sculpt mesh. I just want to see the transform changing in real time. So if I grab this and I start rotating it down, I should see a sliding action as it imprints. Yes, it slides down, and when it goes away, it slides back up. So it really helps to add a tier of realism. It's like the way a bicep would behave when it's being triggered, how it slides. So the sliding action helps a lot to sell realism. But as you can see, that little problem that I have with it bulging out too far is imprinting on the side here, and you can see it. So I have to go fix that. Yeah, right there. That little imprint. It's really cool. Really nice little sliding action up and down. All right, so what I'm going to do now is make sure I go to my sculpt deformer and just make a minor edit to it on a component level so that I don't have this penetration. It's not a big deal. So just let me hold down D and orient the manipulator so it's pointing in the direction I want to push it in. And just push it in a little bit and do the same thing here. And just push it in a little bit just so it gets it out of the way. All right, so that's the sliding action for the abs. It's a lot easier to see when she's going back. Let me go to the right view. Take a look at it. So if I rotate,